Okay. Hello,
Okay.
everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Gerald Anderson. I'm the recruitment coordinator for the School of Engineering, and joining us is Dr. Ewan McGuckin, who is the head of Electronics and Electrical Engineering at the University of Glasgow, and he'll be covering a number of the postgraduate taught electronic and electrical engineering degree programs today. So if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A section, which is at the bottom of your screen. Just press the button, add any questions, and now we will make time at the end of the session for you to have those answered. Today's session is being recorded as well, so if you miss anything or if there's anything you want to go back over, you'll be able to review that recording once it's published online in a matter of days. So it won't be immediate, but it will be available soon after this session is completed. So I'm going to pass over to Ewan, and he's going to be taking the lead for the majority of the session today.
Hello, everyone. I'll bring up my slides and we can get started. Can you see that okay, Gerald?
Yep, that's fine. Can everyone else see okay? Just give a wee reaction in the chat if you can. If it's okay. Yep, good. Yep, everyone's okay.
Uh, Thank you for coming along to this webinar. As Gerald said, I'm Dr. Ewan McGuckin, and I'm the Head of Discipline for Electronics and Electrical Engineering, which means that I look after all the programs, and in this case, the particular MSc programs that we offer. I'm also the Deputy Chief Advisor for postgraduate taught students, and so I'm one of the kind of advising team that look after our MSc students. Just some background on Glasgow University. Glasgow University was established back in 1451. I wasn't there, like I was just a twinkle in my great-great-grandfather's eye. And it is one of the oldest universities in the UK, the fourth in particular. And for the coming year, our rankings worldwide is 79th. So we're one of the top 100 universities in the world. Times Higher Education had us kind of 12th globally, first in Scotland and second in the UK, third in Europe. And one of the kind of key things about Glasgow University is it's part of what's known as the Russell Group. And these are prestigious kind of grouping of universities that are research focused. And so everything that we do is either research informed in terms of our teaching and also research led in terms of our activities out with kind of teaching and our project work. From the point of view of, how many students are at the University of Glasgow, we've got 35,000 students, and they all come from 140 different countries. In the James Watt School of Engineering, we have about 1,800 undergraduates and kind of well over 600 postgraduate taught students. So we have a large number of MSc students that come to study with us. In addition to the studying and teaching, there are also well in advance of 250 different clubs and societies. So there are other things, extracurricular things that you can get involved with. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. So the university structure, the university has four main colleges. It has science and engineering, which logically the School of Engineering sits within. It has the College of Medical, Veterinary and Life Sciences, the College of Arts and Humanities, and the College of Social Sciences. And each one of them contains its own kind of grouping of schools. Within the College of Science and Engineering, the main schools that most of our students kind of study within and do various activities within are obviously the James Watt School of Engineering, which covers the whole of engineering. It's one of the biggest schools. We have the School of Computing Science, which some of our programs are actually taught in partnership with. The School of Physics and Astronomy, they also help us with some of our teaching. And the School of Chemistry, the School of Mathematics and Statistics, and the School of Geographical and Earth Sciences. So within the college, we are connected to other kind of STEM-related subject areas. And as I said, they also contribute to the teaching in some of our programs. Within the James Watt School of Engineering, we are split into our research divisions and also our teaching disciplines. Our research divisions determine what kinds of research activities we do, but also the projects that we offer, which is a key part of any MSc. And so within the school, we have electronics and nanoscale engineering, which is focusing on small kind of components and electronic kind of engineering aspects. We have systems, power, and energy, which is looking at the kind of larger part of electrical engineering and energy kind of production. We also have autonomous systems and connectivity, so looking at communications, looking at robotics and other autonomous systems. We have infrastructure in the environment, and we have biomedical engineering. And so these are the groupings where most of our staff do their kind of research work and coordinate to any kind of project from. And so this is really how we categorize our research interests. In terms of teaching, the James Watt School of Engineering has 5 disciplines. Electronics and electrical engineering is the one that I look after, but there are other 4 that align with our research divisions. And so we have mechanical engineering, particularly aligned with systems, power, and energy. Aerospace engineering, which is aligned with autonomous systems and connectivity. Civil engineering, which is infrastructure in the environment. And biomedical engineering, which is self-explanatory. But it means that within these teaching disciplines and the programs associated with them, we have not only just the experts in these particular fields, but you also get taught by other kind of experts in complementary fields. And so you may have members of staff who have different kind of research interests. And it kind of lends itself to a nice eclectic mix of teaching, research, and interest. As far as electronics and electrical engineering and its MSc programs goes, we have 7 main programs that we are in charge of, but there are others that we contribute to. So the main ones are obviously electronics and electrical engineering, which covers a wide spectrum of subject areas, all the way from kind of nanoscale and quantum, all the way to power generation and battery technologies. Aligned with that is electronics and electrical engineering with management. And so this is a kind of halfway between a management degree with the Adam Smith Business School and an engineering degree, particularly electronics and electrical engineering. Relatively new to the kind of suite of programs that we offer is the Robotics and Artificial Intelligence MSc, which takes core elements not only from electronics and electrical engineering, but also mechanical engineering and aerospace engineering as well. We have electronics and photonic manufacturing, and so that's looking at the kind of nano question, the quantum in terms of devices and materials, and how manufacturing processes can be used to develop these electronic systems for, like industrial applications. In parallel with that, we actually have an MSc that particularly looks at nanoscience and nanotechnology, and quite a a large constituent parts of that come from the physics and astronomy school. And so it is a nice blend between physics and electronics, but looking at the kind of nanoscience and nanotechnology kind of piece. We have computer systems engineering, which is jointly with computing science. And we have mechatronics. And mechatronics is jointly with mechanical engineering. There is also sustainable energy, which is jointly taught between mechanical engineering and electronics and electrical engineering. And that one kind of falls under the kind of remit of mechanical engineering more. If you come to Glasgow, the kind of year structure is as follows. And so the first semester, which starts in September and goes through until December, has nominally about 60 credits of courses in it. So it's about a third of the MSc is contained within that first semester. The exams for that first semester are in December. And so it is a very kind of fast kind of speeds, that first semester. You're learning all your subjects. But most of these are foundation courses or the kind of beginning courses for a much larger kind of subject area. And so really the kind of first semester is that foundation area. The second semester, which starts in January and goes through to March, also has 60 credits. And so kind of equal balance of taught courses within semester one and semester two. The exams for semester two are in May, the end of April. And that means that all of the taught courses and all of the assessments and all of the exams are finished by the beginning of the summer. And during the summer for an MSc, from May all the way through to September, there is an individual project which is 60 credits as well, and it's your own individual endeavor. So in total, you would have 180 credits split between the two semesters with your taught courses, and then the summer period where you do your individual project. So it is all the way from September one year to the kind of beginning of September the following year, a full calendar year. The program structure for electronics and electrical engineering, because it's very broad, it covers quite a large variety of different subject areas as shown here. And you can see the majority of the courses are either 20 or 10 credits. And so in semester one, as I said, you would do 60 credits. And so you could either have 320 credits or you could have 610 credits. It depends on what you're interested in. For electronics and electrical engineering, because it is such a wide variety of topic areas, there is only one compulsory course shown in bold here. It's the Integrated System Design Project. This is a team project which allows you to investigate and hopefully solve a real-world engineering problem, taking a kind of integrated system design approach. And so you would be in teams not only with other electronics and electrical engineering students, but other engineering MSc students as well. The selection of optional courses can be anything from, the array shown here, and these are the majority of the courses on offer at the moment. If you come here to study, these courses could change, but the kind of main themes would remain the same. And they cover a wide variety of subject areas from digital signal processing, lasers, nanofabrication, to robotics, quantum materials, digital communications. So the wide array of options allows you to tailor your MSc to what your particular interests are and what ultimately your career aspirations would be. Along with this, we have the electronics and electrical engineering with management program. And that program in the first semester covers compulsory courses from the Adam Smith Business School. And these are a wide variety of different management and operations related kind of courses. These courses are block taught by the Adam Smith Business School, and it's all self-contained within that first semester. Means in the second semester, as well as having the same integrated system design project as the electronics and electrical engineering students, you take a similar array of options. And so you get that nice balance between management courses in your first semester and your array of engineering courses, whatever you want to tailor your degree to in the second semester. For electronics and photonic manufacturing, it's a smaller subset of optional courses. And so, for instance, in the first semester, these students would do some fundamental kind of manufacturing and CAD, as well as more advanced manufacturing kind of concepts, so that there is the understanding and the foundation of how things are actually manufactured and designed. As well as the integrated system design project, there are an array of different subject areas ranging from nanofabrication to micro and millimeter wave circuit design, all the way down to, like material engineering and advanced ultrasonics. So this one is focusing on the manufacturing of electronics and photonics devices. And so it is particularly that specialization that if you're interested in, this would be the ideal MSc for you. For computer systems engineering, this is taught in conjunction with computing science. And so as well as having compulsory courses shown in bold here from engineering, we also have compulsory courses from the School of Computing Science, in particular software engineering, which runs throughout the entire 2 semesters of teaching. The rest of the options that are available to you can either come from engineering if you're interested more in hardware, or from computing science if you're more interested in programming and software. Yet again, this allows students to develop their MSc to cover the subject areas that they want to go into for their future career, and as the basis for their individual project during the summer. Mechatronics is, as the name suggests, the blending of mechanical and electronics. The definition is that it is the study and application of electronics to mechanical systems. And because of that, there is a blend of mechanical and electronic related subjects. Some are compulsory, others are optional, and yet again, it allows you to tailor your MSc if you're interested in something that is more mechanical or something that is more electronics related, or get a nice balance between the two. Key to this is obviously digital signal processing, control, and robotics. Everything else, it depends on what you're interested in. But you can have that nice balance between the 2 subject areas of mechanical engineering and electronics and electrical engineering through this particular program. With nanoscale, it is a particularly specialized degree program, and it does have a good balance between specific courses for nanoscience and nanotech, as well as wider nano-related subject areas. And so this ties into both the quantum and the bioelectronics side of things, as well as taking some of the kind of imaging and nano and atomic scale subject areas from physics as well. So it is a nice blend between the physics that is needed to understand the whole nanoscience and nanotechnology, as well as the practical skills that you would need for engineering in these areas. And finally, the Robotics and AI MSc is taught in conjunction with computing science. In this particular program, it has its own team design project that runs through the whole of its 2 semesters. And it has, sorry, some compulsory courses that can either come from computing science or from engineering, or a mixture of both. And so, for instance, in the first semester, you get a choice of either doing artificial intelligence and machine learning through either engineering or from computing science. In the second semester, it is the robotics that you can either take from engineering or from computing science as well. Apart from control, which is obviously very important for robotics and AI, the other subject areas depends on what particular aspects of robotics and AI you're particularly interested in. Now, this particular program does give students the option of doing their individual project during the summer, either through engineering or through computing science as well. So if you're a computing scientist and you're interested in that area, you could have more kind of balance towards the kind of computing science courses and the project. Or if you're more a practical person and you want to do the engineering subjects, you have that possibility as well. So what kind of methods do we use for teaching and learning? The first one, like most universities, and you're probably very familiar with this, are through lectures. And some of our lecture theatres are quite big, others are quite small and intimate. And so there's a wide variety of kind of lecturing-based environments and experiences. To reinforce that, we have tutorials, and these tutorials can either take the form of lectures in themselves or the small group kind of learning where you have either a teaching assistant or a member of staff there to help you through your learning process. Also, across all of our programs, we provide practical laboratory experience. And so whether this is in an electronics lab or whether it's in some other form of practical laboratory, the labs are there to enhance your experience and allow you to actually have hands-on practical experience of the things and equipment related to the subject area that you're studying. As with all kind of laboratories, we also have computing or computational labs, and there are many suites within the kind of engineering buildings of computing labs that you can use either for your own kind of learning or as part of the courses that you would take. All of the MSCs have project work, and so this is a key element to do with any kind of form of engineering, and particularly electronics and electrical engineering as a kind of wider subject area. And so it is a key skill that is needed not only for your future developments, but also for accreditation of our degrees, which they are accredited. One of the key things to do with any master's level degree is self-study. And so quite a lot of it has to be your own time that you dedicate to focusing on your courses and any project, tutorials, or lab work that you have to do. And also our examinations are key to the learning that our students receive, because they are open-ended exams, they're to test you, but it's also to make you think about the wider context of what you're being asked in terms of engineering and its societal impact. As I said, the individual project runs during the summer for the MSc students, and the list of topics that are released, these are a list that's of projects that are offered by our staff across the whole of the school. It is released in January, February time. and you're allowed to either select from this list or propose your own project. The topics of the projects really reflect all the research that is done, and so it is very much aligned um, at a higher level to kind of reflect those interests and also the facilities that we have available. Now, moving onto the project depends on passing all the exams that you sit in semester one and semester two. So the progress board allows you to progress in June to full-time study on your project. In terms of your support through your project, you will be assigned a supervisor who is the person who's proposed the particular project topic that has been selected, and they will meet with you once per week throughout the summer to make sure that your project is progressing in the right way. The projects are assessed through three things: a report, a poster, which is presented at the poster conference, and continual assessment, which is your supervisor's assessment of how well you have progressed through your project. The project reports and the posters are assessed in the kind of latter part of August, and we have a poster conference, some of the images shown here, where all of our MSc students present their posters to academics and other students within the school. So the end of this kind of marks the end, and so the poster conference is really the kind of final thing that is done, like in the MSc. In order to support you through the whole of your MSc, we have 12 advisors of study and a student support officer. The 12 advisors of study look after the advising needs of students from one or more of the MSc programs. And for electronics and electrical engineering and all its related programs, the vast majority of these 12 advisors are actually related to those programs. As well as that, there's me as the deputy chief advisor. So if your advisor of study can't help you or the student support officer, then I'm there to help with more kind of serious kind of aspects if you need support. And right at the top of the chain is our chief advisor, and he looks after the whole of the school in terms of the students that we have, both undergraduate, postgraduate taught, and postgraduate research. But he is also there to help as well. So it is a well kind of structured kind of system to help and support you through your studies. As well as your studies, we also have lots of societies, as I said. We even have a Quidditch society, so if you're into Harry Potter and you like broomsticks, you can fly about, like with that, playing Quidditch. But there are some student societies that are aligned with engineering, and some of them are shown here. And so, for instance, UG Racing is a group of students who build a racing car each year and then enter the car in a Formula One type competition. And a few years ago, they went from petrol-based propulsion to electrical-based propulsion. And so now it's an electrical vehicle, and they're always looking for electronics and electrical engineering students to help with that. But there are lots of other societies, and all of them are looking for students with electronics or related backgrounds. So if you came here to study, as well as getting involved with the actual courses and your study, there is also the societal aspect and making those contacts outside of your subject area. So that's really all that I need to present today. Now we've got some time for some questions, so I'll open up the floor to that.
We already have a couple in the chat, Ewan. So one of the questions was, it was mentioned that the MSc courses take a full calendar year, but can the courses be taken part-time, over 24 months or 36 months?
In special cases, yes. It really depends. We have had cases of students taking part-time, but there are very few and far between. Sorry about this. Talking too much. So it would really have to be discussed, it depends on the program, because some of the programs are able to be taken part-time, but there are other programs that cannot.
And the other question is, is the project report the equivalent of a master's dissertation?
It is. That's the easy kind of answer. It is a master's dissertation, effectively, but it is fundamentally a technical master's dissertation.
How many words? What is the word count of that?
Don't think we give it in terms of word count. Roughly translated, it goes to between 30 to 50 pages, not including appendices. Any other questions?
Do all the courses start in September?
Only the courses that are for semester one, or if it's a course that runs between semester one and semester two, then it will start in September.
One question, can you please give some details regarding MedTech Innovation MSc?
That falls under biomedical, unfortunately, that I know that it's a particularly new MSc that is just coming online at the moment, and it follows the biomedical related programs. But I believe that one of my colleagues is giving a presentation on biomedical related programs at 11 o'clock.
Yes, there.
Yeah.
It's Marco Cantini who's giving the presentation.
So sorry, but Marco will be able to give you more details.
One question is, are there any induction events online or similar for PhD students?
Our induction events are actually face to face. And so the kind of week leading up to the beginning of semester, we have a variety of different induction events. And it's at the same time as our welcome week for the undergraduates, as well as our postgraduate researchers. And so it gives you the opportunity to come on campus, meet with members of staff, get to meet the society, see what interesting things are happening, and ease yourself into your academic studies.
Okay. Another question is, I would like to ask whether the University of Glasgow has any partnerships or collaborations with industry that support computer systems engineering students in finding opportunities after graduation.
Yes, well, we've got both through the School of Computing Science and through engineering, we have our industrial advisory boards, and they are particular companies that partner with us, and they're invited to come along to the poster conference so that they can see what students have been doing. And that is one of the opportunities. Also, through our career kind of services, we we provide opportunities, or at least highlight opportunities that are available for our graduates in particular key areas. Computer systems engineering is one particular area for that. So there are different kind of mechanisms that we do provide and we do support.
Okay, I think this question's already been answered in your presentation, Ewan, but what is the maximum credits that can be taken in a semester?
It depends. The kind of standard balance is 60, 60, and 60. So semester one, 60, semester two, 60, and then your project. However, semester one can be a little bit kind of intense because you're starting a new university, etc. And so sometimes we allow 50 credits in the first semester, 70 credits in the second semester, because there's a little bit more time and you'll have kind of eased yourself into the whole process. You'll have been through this kind of semester one at that point. We don't allow anything other than that. So really, in semester one, the maximum is 60 credits. In semester two, we can allow 70, but you will have had to have taken 50 credits in the first semester in order to balance that. In total, it should be 180 credits. Sometimes an extra 5 credits from computing science creeps in for some of the kind of ones related to computing science. And so we end up with 185.
Okay, so one person asking, as an international student, do I need to get a supervisor before I begin my studies? They have an offer to study a PGT already.
No, I know that some visa requirements, especially ATAS requirements, ask for a supervisor to be specified, but really it is either the PGT convener, so the person who looks after all the MSCs within the School of Engineering, or myself that you put down for those particular aspects. Um, your supervisor, along with your project, is allocated in the second semester. And so by that time, like you're already started your studies at that point.
And one more question. Do you offer scholarships for PhD studies?
The university and the school offers some scholarships. Uh, Within the school, there are a certain number of scholarships that come through research councils, and so there are restrictions about those particular scholarships. But we have, through our research divisions, funding opportunities, that maybe have come with particular grants or particular projects that have been funded by industry, and they are covering, quite PhD kind of fees and stipend. And so it depends on what is on offer, what is available. And it's something to, if you're interested in PhD studies, to start looking into if you come here to study an MSc.
And I'd like to add there is also a session on funding today between 4 and 5 p.m. and I've added the link where all the session links are today. So that's between 4 and 5 UK time. Um, One other question, can a postgraduate taught apply for graduate assistantship?
In what respect to graduate assistantship? Our PD, we do offer up what we call extended workforce, which is like graduate teaching assistants posts, which are open to PGT students within reason. So there is the opportunity for that. As for any kind of other kind of graduate assistant kind of posting, probably not. It really depends on what was meant by that.
Benjamin, you're the one that gave the question here. Could you be a little bit more specific in your question, just so we can answer it? Uh, One other person asking, is there a minimum requirement of computing skills, i.e., programming skills for triple E, computing programs, etc.?
We do expect some level of programming skills, and the selected software or kind of programming kind of language is Python, but there are other software packages that will be taught to you through the courses. These are usually kind of more specific, but there is a certain level of programming skills so that you can build on that at master's level. In the future, we will have kind of very basic kind of programming courses that will be part of a kind of research skills course. But at the moment, we do provide a kind of teach yourself programming, and we provide that information and support for that as well.
Another question, is there EPSRC studentships for computer science PGR? That might be a question for a different talk. This is, well,
Yeah,
computing science comes into some elements of triple E. It's not, this is not the computing science session, unfortunately.
it all kind of comes down to the EPSRC provides a certain amount of money to schools depending on how much income that they have managed to generate through the research councils. And depending on the school, these can be turned into studentships. And but I couldn't speak for computing science. You would have to speak to them about that specifically. Saying that, engineering does cover an awful lot of similar topic areas, and it depends on what particular area of computer science you're actually wanting to go into.
We have one individual who just wants to say thank you for the opportunity to study at Glasgow. They're from Gaza. They got an internet unconditional offer to U of G. It's been a dream opportunity, and they just want to pass their thanks on to the admissions team. So I will certainly pass on those thanks to them. You're most welcome.
And we look forward to seeing you, in September. Any other questions?
Well, if anyone else has any questions, please pop them in. I have a poll that I would like the student or the guest to fill out here. It's just a few questions just about how today's session has gone. There are two questions in it, and it literally just takes seconds for you to complete. So, do have time for a couple more questions, but I'll leave that poll up for just about a minute so everyone can have an opportunity to answer if they want to.
I always feel as if I should start singing at this point just to kind of fill the gap.
One of the questions we have, are there any mature students doing postgrad, as in those who are over 50?
We have had students, mature students, do MSCs. Some of them have been over 50. And, it is, age is no barrier. We welcome everyone and we will support everyone through their journey.
And any advice for promising applicants who want to join your programs in learning?
Well, the advice, is, that you have to be a motivated student, like whatever you're studying. And really, the kind of main thing is that you choose a program or you choose a kind of course of study that you're interested in, that you can engage with, and that is your future path so you can see a way forward from that MSc to whatever you want to do in the future. And so, really, it's follow your heart. And if you make the right choice, then everything else comes easy.
Someone asking, what is the main or significant difference between a taught course or a research course when someone is considering a PhD as well as an MSc?
A taught course has the 2 semesters of taught courses and a shorter research kind of focused project. And that's how the kind of year is split up. A MSc by research or PGR at master's level is one big long project, and it is either for a year or 18 months. And so it is like doing the kind of first part of a PhD effectively. And so if you're interested in doing a PhD, it might be better to do a taught MSc and kind of collecting the knowledge that you would need as the foundation for your research activities, as well as having the kind of shorter project to give you that kind of flavor of doing a research related project.
We do still have a few more minutes. If anyone has any other questions, don't hesitate to ask them. One person asking, I'm interested in a teaching assistantship. I wanted to know more about the teaching assistants to support my funding. I have to study an offer to study electronic and electrical engineering, PGT.
Okay, for international students, you're allowed, I think it's something like 20 hours or something like that that you can work. And part of that could be um, a kind of general teaching assistant opportunities that we provide. Our undergraduate courses, most of them either have laboratories associated with them or tutorials. And so it would be that you would be given it's a database of all the different opportunities to do with either demonstrating labs or tutoring, and you sign up for them. And depending on your backgrounds and your availability, uh, you can, do kind of teaching assistant duties throughout the year. Um, this is something that we encourage because it's a good way to develop your communication skills and to actually engage with other students.
Someone else asking, what can strengthen an application for the MSc in robotics and AI?
Interest in robotics and AI, showing that you have the kind of backgrounds, not only from the kind of practical sense in terms of fundamental engineering, such as electrical or whatever, but also that you have some kind of backgrounds to do with robotics or to do with AI or to do with either from the computing side kind of programming or from the engineering side, the kind of key thing that we look for is control. So having controlling your studies at undergraduate level. Other than that, it is just to be interested in the subject area.
And we have time for another question if anyone has it. Just no problem, Benjamin. Just to say that hoping to get more funding and that they'll have more follow-up questions for the funding aid session later on. So thank you for that. Okay, thank you everyone who participated in the poll. I think that's it in terms of questions. So we appreciate your contributions and for your attendance today, and we hope to see you very soon.
Yep. Thank you very much. And we look forward to seeing you uh, next year.
Oh, one more question very quickly. Is there any support for international students to find a job after the MSc?
Uh, as I said, we have a career services. They're very good. They're always there to help and guide. We do have opportunities for students to meet with our industrial partners. And in general, there are activities for all of our students to meet with our industrial partners at various times. And so there is always that opportunity. And so we will support where possible, and we will advertise opportunities to the wider kind of student body as and when we are told about them from companies.
We do currently have a careers chat happening live just now. It's going on for another half hour. So once this session is ended, if you go to the link where all the Zoom links are, you should be able to find the one there to take you to the careers chat, which can give you some more information about that. But I think that is it from everyone. Thank you so much again for all your interesting questions, for your participation, for your involvement. Again, wish you the best, and we will see you soon, I hope.
Yeah. Bye
Take
for
care,
now.
everyone. Have a
Bye.
good day.